Welcome to this video on the first intermediate period of ancient Egypt, a time of political fragmentation and cultural transition. We will explore the challenges faced by Egypt during this era. Also, we will examine the significant cultural and artistic developments that emerged despite these challenges. Let's begin our journey into this fascinating period in ancient Egyptian history. At the beginning, let's explain the fall of the Old Kingdom. The first intermediate period in ancient Egypt spans from around 2181 to 2055 BCE, following the Old Kingdom and preceding the Middle Kingdom. The Old Kingdom, known for its remarkable achievements in architecture and art, eventually collapsed due to a combination of factors. These factors included weakened central authority of the pharaohs, increased power of the provincial governors, economic challenges such as inflation and resource scarcity, and climate change that led to crop failures and famine. These conditions resulted in political disarray and social unrest. After the fall of the Old Kingdom, the intermediate period has some stages. Let's start with the political fragmentation and chaos. During the first intermediate period, central authority disintegrated, and Egypt became divided into small separate kingdoms ruled by local rulers known as provincial kings, or nomarchs. The absence of a strong central government led to a decline in political and economic stability, which in turn contributed to worsening living standards, increased poverty, and widespread hunger. Conflicts between rival kingdoms intensified, undermining internal security and stability, because local rulers sought to expand their territories and assert their authority. Cultural transition. Despite the challenges faced by Egypt during the first intermediate period, this era also saw significant cultural developments. Arts and literature diversified during this time, as people began expressing their emotions, hopes, and fears in new and innovative ways. The pyramid texts found in the tombs of the first intermediate period exemplify this cultural development, containing religious and magical texts aimed at protecting the deceased and guiding them in the afterlife. The growing importance of Osiris. The importance of the god Osiris, deity of the dead and eternal life, grew during the first intermediate period. The cult of Osiris became a significant part of Egyptian religion, as people believed that he would judge their hearts after death and grant them eternal life in the afterlife. This shift in religious belief was reflected in art, literature, and funerary practices, as tombs began to incorporate Osirian iconography and rituals. The belief in Osiris also played a role in democratizing the afterlife, as it offered the promise of eternal life to people beyond the elite class. This democratization led to an increase in the construction of private tombs for non-royal individuals, reflecting the broader belief in the accessibility of the afterlife. Tombs of this period began to include more extensive inscriptions, spells, and prayers to aid the deceased in their journey through the afterlife and to ensure their successful resurrection. The mythology of Osiris also had a profound impact on the social and moral values of the time. His story, involving his murder by his brother Set, subsequent resurrection by his wife Isis, and their son Horus avenging his death, emphasized themes of loyalty, justice, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. These values resonated with the Egyptian people, who saw the story of Osiris as a representation of the cyclical nature of life. As the cult of Osiris continued to grow, it influenced the development of other religious practices and beliefs. The concept of the judgment of the dead, wherein the heart of the deceased was weighed against the feather of Marat to determine their worthiness for eternal life, became a central tenet of Egyptian religion. This concept reinforced the importance of living a morally upright life, as one's actions would determine their fate in the afterlife. Egypt unites once more. After roughly 125 years of chaos and political fragmentation, Egypt began to unite once more under the rule of Montuhotep II, who established the 11th dynasty and marked the beginning of the Middle Kingdom. Through military and diplomatic strength, Montuhotep II and his successors in the 11th dynasty succeeded in restoring central authority, re-establishing order, and rebuilding the country. The reunification process was a gradual one, involving a series of military campaigns and diplomatic efforts to bring together the fractured regions of Egypt. Montuhotep II strategically aligned himself with powerful regional leaders and worked to create a sense of national unity, emphasizing shared cultural and religious values. He also implemented administrative reforms aimed at strengthening central authority and curbing the power of the nomarchs. The Middle Kingdom saw the construction of new cities, temples, and monumental structures, reflecting the renewed prosperity and stability of the nation. The capital was moved to Thebes, which would become a major religious and political center throughout the Middle Kingdom and beyond. Trade routes were re-established and expanded, leading to an increase in wealth and resources. Additionally, the Middle Kingdom witnessed a resurgence of artistic and literary expression as well as advancements in science and technology. Egypt overcame the challenges of the First Intermediate Period and once again became a powerful and stable nation, setting the stage for a period of renewed prosperity, artistic achievements, and territorial expansion. The reigns of Senusret I and Amenemhat III in particular were marked by successful military campaigns, efficient administration, and thriving trade, highlighting the accomplishments of the Middle Kingdom period.